Okay, I'm recording. Yeah.
Govinda Madhava.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, perfect.
Gopala Keshava. Jayananda Mukunda Nanda Govinda Radhe Gopala. Jayananda Mukunda Nanda Govinda Radhe Gopala. Govinda Madhava. Gopala Keshava. Giridhari Giridhari Jaya. Radhe Gopala. Giridhari Giridhari Jaya. Radhe Gopala. Ghanshyama Shyama Shyama Jai Jai. Radhe Gopala. Ghanshyama Shyama Shyama Jai Jai. Radhe Gopala. Jayananda Mukunda Nanda Govinda Radhe Gopala. Jayananda Mukunda Nanda Govinda Radhe Gopala. Govinda Madhava. Gopala Keshava. Gopala Keshava. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्तदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। Yesterday, I gave an introduction to this text or the Holy Gita, that is the philosophical discussion that took place between a soldier and his charioteer in the middle of the battlefield. And the discussion started with the confusion from the soldier about the fight, about the battlefield. Should I fight or not fight? Because the enemies that were there for him were not strangers. They were his own cousins and also his own grandfather and his own teacher. Suddenly, Arjuna, the warrior, had a great doubt. Will the result of this war, would it bring any good to anybody other than destruction and killing of people from both sides? Especially, I have to destroy or kill my own grandfather, my own uncles, cousins, my own teacher. Is it worth? So he had a doubt about what is right to do at that time. We also saw that this predicament is so closer to home in the form of our own personality, which consists of both negative and positive virtues or traits, which are constantly clashing with each other. The negative traits, just as anger, passion, lust, greed, jealousy, ego, intolerance, violence, these are all there in our personality to a larger extent. We also rarely have few good qualities like compassion, love, integrity, truthfulness, forgiveness, tolerance. At any given point of time, which wins over depends upon which you support. It is said that a person, he said, I have two dogs at home. Both are, my own. They constantly fight with each other. So that friend asked, which one usually wins? So the man said, the one whom I feed the most. In the same way, which one we feed, which one we support in every life situation, that becomes predominant in us. the ego, the intolerance, the anger, the frustration, if we encourage them in our life, even if we have goodness, they don't predominate. They don't come into surface. They won't win. They will never be used. They will be dormant in us. So, it is a war that is going on within us all the time. So, the war called Mahabharata, even though historically it's said to have happened in a place called Kurukshetra, thousands of years back. But when we apply it in our own personal life, we find we are like Arjuna. At any given point of time, we are not sure. Of course, when we start thinking only, we are not sure whether we are doing the right thing or not doing the right thing. Secondly, we do have a charioteer like Krishna in the form of our own buddhi or the wisdom. Most of the time it is dormant or not listened to. Here Arjuna is showing us that when we are in such a predicament of not knowing what is right thing to do, one should have one's own wisdom. If that such wisdom is not available, then one should look for an external source of those who have the right knowledge, who can guide us. That's where the guru or the teacher comes in the picture. Guru is the one who is a representative of the Lord. That's why Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu we say, because he or she has the required wisdom on how to apply that knowledge. That is what is called wisdom. Knowledge experienced is wisdom. So that if one has that chance or the opportunity to gain the right knowledge from a teacher, then one can surely be clear about what is the right thing to do. What is dharma? We also saw dharma is at the highest level is God's presence within us. To know that is the highest dharma. God in all religion is the embodiment of joy, happiness, love, peace. And that's what we seek all the time. Every moment of our life, what we seek is God. We may not call it that way. What we seek is happiness. Unending happiness, continuous, not temporary ones. So we seek the happiness all the time in all our various engagements in this world. Whether we are friendly with someone or we are away from somebody, we want something, we do not want something. In every occasion of our life, we are seeking happiness. The complete, fulfilling, everlasting happiness is the presence of God in us. The very fact that we are seeking shows, without any rhyme or reason, shows that we are seeking, what we are seeking is our nature. Anything other than that, opposed to that happiness, we are not comfortable. And happiness is where we become so restless. We feel alienated. We would like to come out of it all the time. So, the very simple logic that is used is that which is the nature of a thing is called dharma. Just like the heat and light is the dharma of the sun. Movement is the dharma of the air. Smell and beauty is the dharma of the flower. In the same way, happiness is our dharma. Why? Because that's what we want to be all the time. So Krishna, in the starting of his advice, he says, in this world, everything is subject to constant change. Nothing remains the same. Every moment, everything is under the flux of change. As the Gurudev Swami Çreyän-svadharmo would say, it is an Einsteinian world of time and space. Constant flux of change. You cannot stop it. And in this constant flux of change, nothing would remain the same. And expecting permanency in the temporary nature of things is called sorrow. And you cannot avoid it. Sorrows are unavoidable so long as you are identifying with the changes and expecting it to be permanent. So as I recall the Buddha's statement, suffering and sorrows in life are unavoidable. Suffering is optional. This option, this choice that we should see. Knowledge gives you choice. Why do you go to school? Why do you learn anything? Why you send your children to school? For what purpose? Huh? If you are having your own business and you want the child to take over the business, he can take over. Why do you need to go to school? He has to know how to think. It is not education is going to make you a person of good businessman or anything, but you are capable now of thinking on your own. You can make your own choices. You can prefer to walk the way you want. Knowledge gives you the choices. Ability to think and decide, plan and execute. So knowledge is an important role. It plays an important role in making us choose happiness over suffering. That is why he said in this verse, Ashocyan anvashocastvam prajñāvādāṃsca vāṣase gadāsum agadāsum sana anushocanti panditā. Panditaha na anushocanti. Men of wisdom don't have sorrow. They don't suffer. Why? Because they know Gadāsun agadāsun. Because things that are gone by and things that are yet to go, they are constantly under change. You can choose to remain in your past and suffer, or choose to let go of it. It is your choice. Many of us are so bothered about what happened in the past which you cannot change, but we keep remembering them, reminding everybody around us. And in the process, we are not only sorrowful, but we will drag everybody to the same condition. That's why I hate looking at the old photographs. Let us say you are looking at your old album when you got married. I had a lot of hair. Now everything is gone. I was young. No doubt, we were young, you had a lot of hair, nothing. But what's the point in wasting your time in thinking about what is gone by? Can you change it? I should not have married him, made a mistake. This is what we call it as old age. Vruddhastavat chintasakta. Shankaracharya says, old age is nothing but living in worry. Living in the past. Past that we cannot change. Gurudev Swami Çreyän-svadharmo used to say, past is something which you cannot change at all. It is just like when you are driving a car, you have a rear view mirror and a, what do you call that? Windshield in front of you. Which one do you look while driving? Most of the time. You should look at the windshield and move forward. But no doubt you look at the rear view mirror for the purpose of deciding whether to turn right or wrong, right or left. Because somebody is coming by and you want to find out there is one here and one here on this side. They are necessary for you to make decisions based upon what is coming. In the same way, past is for you to learn, not to live there. Learn from the past, don't live there. Living is where you are looking in the front of the windshield and moving forward. So, therefore, changes that have taken place, changes that have made you and I are, no doubt we have learned so many things from the past, what should be done, what should not have been done. But living is in the present moment. Krishna says a man of wisdom does not live in the past. Gadāsun, agadāsun, na anushocanti pandita. So when I said suffering is a choice, this is the first choice you make. Let go of the past after learning from it. There is a lot of things that we can learn from our own past, from others' past, others' experience. but don't hold on to it forever. So Krishna says, this is the first thing you should know. Gadasum agadasum sina anushochanti pandita. Why is he saying that? Because past includes everything from the time you are born in this world till the time you are now. But in Hindu philosophy, they do believe in the existence of one's own being beyond birth also, beyond death also. You may choose to believe or not to believe, that's up to you. So, in the Hindu philosophy, past includes past lives as well. And they have given a lot of logic, rationality behind this. If, let us say, all of us are born in this life only and there was no past which was there before, if that is the case, all of us should be born the same way. The same kind of mind, the same kind of faculties, same kind of knowledge and same kind of skills and other things, but we are not. Each one is so unique, is it not? In your own home, one boy is so smart, another is totally stupid. Like. You wonder, how can this smart fellow ever born to us? Where did the mistake come from? And there are two possibilities. You can say, God made us like that. Those who are religious, they say, God decided whether one has to be smart, another has to be stupid. Somebody decided. Based on what? What is the basis on which God decided that way? That one should be smart, another is stupid. Tell me. According to his own whims. You played a dice game. Okay, one is smart, another dice, another is smart, one is stupid. Is it that way? Or is he bribed? Somebody went bribed him and said, oh Lord, please, I will give you much more money to your temple or a church or wherever you are. I will give me a smart guy. And because of which he gave, then he is no better than a local politician. So on what basis, therefore, he had made one stupid, another smart? Let us leave God aside. No, it is just by chance. Then the whole life is only chance only. Science says it according to the DNA structure combination. Some combination, somebody is smart, somebody is stupid. Then the whole thing will be only, everything is a chance. Our own life will be only of chances. Whether I will be healthy or not, I don't know. Tomorrow I will not be healthy. Why? Something went wrong. So we are living a life of chances. Then we have no choices to make. If you say, no, that child decided to be smart and another child decided to be stupid, it is not the possibility. Because the child was not having any possibility of making the choices. So based upon this analysis, they have come to understand that, and we have also seen prodigies in our life. Many of you might have seen people who are born with great skills from the very beginning of this. I have seen many of them. So what is the possibility of somebody born with certain very peculiar and highly skilled talents? If you say that today what I do decides what I will be tomorrow, what I am doing today is what I am going to make me a successful failure tomorrow. Extend the same logic. What I am today is because of what I did in the past. What I am in this life is what I did in the past. This is the logic that they use. That's why the theory of karma comes in. Apart from all these things, if a person is doing what is not right all through his life and he just dies, he is then afterwards he is free of all the mistakes he has done. There is no consequence at all. This is where our religion accepts. Yes, your actions will have consequence. Whether it's Christianity or Islam or all the Semitic religion, they say according to your actions, whether you will be given heaven or hell. Right? All religion accept the existence of heaven or hell based upon what actions you have done. Hinduism goes a little further to say, there is nothing called hell and heaven somewhere else. You will live in hell or heaven here itself. That's why when you take a phone call, what do you say? Hello. You are already in hell. So our own actions will come to haunt us. This consequence of our actions should be borne by us only, not anybody else. And you cannot go scot-free. All religion threaten you that way, that your actions will be met by you. And in Hinduism especially, all the gods have enough weapons in their hand to show that. Right? A beautiful verse from Mahabharata says, Yata denu sahasrayashu vatso vindati mataram tata purvagadam karma kasta kartaram-anugacchati. Yata, just as denu sahasreshu, among thousands of cows, vatsaha, the calf, vindati mataram, it knows its mother. It looks the same for all of us. If you have 1,000 cows in place, you cannot distinguish one from another. Everything looks same. Yata denu sahasreshu vatso vindati mataram. In the same way, tata purvakritam karma, in the same way, what you have done in the past, kartaram-anugacchati, it will go to you only, nobody else, wherever you go. Action done by an individual will come to him only, nowhere else, nobody else. So if I have done something which is not right in this life, I cannot go scot-free from this, it will come back to me. So the theory of karma proves to us that the physical action that is done by me in this life, even if I leave the physical body, then I have to meet the consequences in my life next. So what you are today is because of what you have done in the past. Now, you cannot go back and change it, mind you, that you cannot do at all. So, knowing this, that what I am today is because of what I did in the past, I have nobody to blame. Not even God. Otherwise, what happens? Why am I suffering today? If God has made me like that, I have only one person to curse. God, useless fellow, made me like this. Or the society made me like this, or my parents made me like this, or it is it's by chance because of the chances of the what called DNA is making. Therefore, I am stupid. And whom do I blame? When the law of karma taken in the right spirit, you will understand that what I did in the past alone is the cause of what I am today. Therefore, I have nobody to blame. Let me do the best now, here and after. Then, therefore, I have the confidence that what I would face tomorrow is better than what I have been facing so far. Right? Now, the question is, if I am going to be born again and again until I clear off my cause, what is that is born again and again? Body is left behind. Physical body is gone. Once a fellow is dead, the physical body you see rotting there. So who is that who is leaving from this physical body to the next one? So in this context, the great masters have said there are two things that are there. One is called the soul, another is called the spirit. If you take a computer, for example, you see the monitor, you see the screen, you see the colors, you see the keyboard and everything else. But none of them are possible to work unless there is a hardware within. The chips should be there, they are properly designed and put, and the hardware has to be there for this computer to work. Correct? Power has to be there, hardware has to be there, and the external hardware, internal hardware, motherboard, all those things. But more than anything else, there should be a software also. Right? Based upon the software, so will be the application. In the same way, within us, the physical hardware is there. But there is something called a software also. That is called our subtle body, called the mind. Thoughts, emotions, feelings, knowledge. This is known as subtle body. Subtle body is none other than the psychological personality of the individual. And the physical body is the physical body, hardware. But these two are alive because of the power. The power that is given to this machine makes the whole thing possible. Hardware works based upon the software that is installed. Just like this bulb there is illuminating now, it's because there is a filament there and the power is passing through the filament, and you see the external bulb is lit up. There is a bulb, there is a filament, and there is a power. The power is invisible. Filament is within it and the external light is glowing. If the power is absent, none of them are of use. So here we should understand the life within us. What makes us alive is the invisible presence of the Lord within. Science would say, no, we don't accept that. Life is nothing but a combination of chemicals, because they do not want to accept anything eternal. First thing is, science do not accept anything that cannot be objectified. Anything that can be perceived, observed, perceived, tested, experimented, proved to be existing, that alone is existing. Anything that is invisible, unknown, not objectifiable, doesn't exist. This is the way science proceeds. And therefore, the invisible, unobjectifiable presence of God is not their concern at all. So life, according to them, is none other than a combination of chemicals, chemical reactions, neurotransmissions. Whereas the Upanishad would say, the life in you, even in that flower, is it artificial or real? Whatever it is, let us say it is real. That flower there, if it is connected to a tree or the plant extends its life to the flower, and therefore the flower is alive. The life in the flower is where, therefore, the life that you have, you and I have, the same life that you and I have is shared by this flower, is shared by the mosquitoes, is shared by the small ants, everything. So life is one, expressions are made. You and I are expressing the same life, just like all the bulbs are expressing the same current, same power. As far as the life is concerned, there is no difference at all. But as far as the expressions are concerned, it depends upon the equipments. The power that is there in this computer is the same power that is illuminating the lamp or the fan behind me. You understand? So that God's presence, therefore, in all of us, all living beings, is the same. That cannot be destroyed at all. You may break all the lamps, power remains. So he tells Arjuna, now you understand, Arjuna, that one which is same in all is the goal to be reached. Once you realize that, then you see the universal presence of the one thing. Universal vision will unfold. Therefore, he says in the next verse, Nainam chintanti shastrani, Nainam dahati pavakaha, Nachainam Kletayantyāpaha Na shoshayati marutaha. This enam shastrani na chintanti. The swords, weapons cannot cleave it. Fire cannot burn it. Water cannot wet it. Air cannot dry it. It is something which is indestructible by any of the five elements. Air, fire, water, space, earth, none of them can touch it, but it is. So in one classroom where there is philosophy class is going on, and that the teacher was, what do you call him? Atheist. But he was asked to teach philosophy, so he was teaching. And he was saying, according to this book, there is God. According to this book, he went on like that. Some of them, according to you, what it is. I don't believe in God. People, this book says that. Because I believe what exists, what I can see, what I can perceive, what I can experience. And I don't believe in anything that doesn't. You cannot see it. So therefore, you may believe, you may not believe, but according to the book, it is like this. One by God of he was very irritated about this. So that means to say what you don't see doesn't exist? Of course not. Okay. Can I have a word from the platform where you are standing? Yes, come here. So the boy came to the podium and said, according to the professor, that which cannot be seen doesn't exist. Correct, sir? Yes. Sir, you are right. If that is the case, any one of you have seen our professor's brain. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen it? No. So conclusion is, what? You don't have brain. Can you come to such a conclusion that what you don't see doesn't exist? If that is the case, you don't see my thoughts. I don't have a thought. I don't have emotions. Have you ever seen your back? In the middle of your back, have you seen? You don't have a back. Can I come to such a hasty conclusion that I don't see doesn't exist? There was one atheist teacher, and she was teaching the third graders, and she wanted to impress this student. I am an atheist. How many of you are atheists in this class? The third grade children, what they know about them? Everybody raised their hand. They don't know what our teacher says is right. One girl was sitting there. So she went to her. You are not an atheist? No. I believe in God. I believe in Krishna. Why? Because my mom believes in Krishna, my dad believes in Krishna, therefore I believe in Krishna. She got very upset. If your mother is a moron, and your dad is a moron, you are a moron? No, if my mama is a moron and dad is a moron, I will be an atheist. So don't come to a conclusion just because I don't see it, it doesn't exist. Then you cannot accept the existence of thoughts, emotions, feelings, tastes, likes, dislikes. All these are all psychological, isn't it? I cannot see it. You cannot see it. But you can feel it. I can experience it, even though it's not physical. What is right and wrong? Is it something visible to me? The concept of good and right and wrong, what is of good and bad? Is it something visible to you? Is it not a conceptual? It is deep within you and you know what is right, even though it is not physical, it is not objectifiable. So Krishna says here, that which is present is just like the current here. Can you see it? You can see the light, you can see the bulb glowing, and therefore you conclude that there is power. And if you have a doubt, I'll take you to the nearest corner there, put your 2 fingers inside that, and you will have no doubt afterwards. You want to try? And whether you are getting the shock here or in China, it will be the same. Universal it is. So that which is in you, which is indestructible, because it is not a matter. It is not substance, it is not something made out of any of these 5 elements. Therefore, none of these 5 known elements called space, air, water, fire, earth cannot touch it. Just like even my thought cannot be burned by anything. What is subtle cannot be touched by the cross. So therefore he says, that which is in you, O Arjuna, that which is the Lord's presence in you, that is eternal, not conditioned by time or space, not caused by anything. not been created, and therefore there is no end to it. So even as you physically die, you don't die. Only the Australians do die. Because when they come to anywhere, if you ask, when did you come? You say, I came here to die. They don't say today, they say to die. Physically, even as you physically die, what remains in you undying is the spirit, the presence of God. Therefore, he tells Arjuna, you are not actually killing anybody. What is being destroyed is physical bodies. The soul which contains all the informations of the past is continued to exist along with that life. And that is what taking another form to continue its journey until it learns to overcome that. This eternal journey of the soul continues. You and I, therefore, are eternally existing beings. So our life's purpose is not to just pamper this physical body, but to go beyond that, to understand our psychological personality called subtle body, which includes all the impressions of the past, which pushes us, which make us go through certain experiences. When through meditation and through introspection, when you go deeper within and try to identify yourself with the higher self known as the God's presence in you, then you slowly become free of the clutches of your subtle body, thought body, emotional body, memories. That is what we call it as living free. Freedom while living. This is, at present, it is only an hypothesis. For all of us, it is appearing to be something which is, impractical or something, a possibility, but hypothesis. And all scientific experiments are based upon hypothesis only. One person came to me and said, Swamiji, science is all about facts and religion is all about faith. Therefore, I being a scientific person, I don't like to live the path of faith. I want to live a life which is about facts. Is that good? Very good. So you are all about facts, right? Yes, I believe in facts, science. And you don't believe in faith. No. So what do you call it as a fact? That which is seen, proved and experimented to be right. And that which is not proved, which is only an idea, I don't believe in it. Give me an example. He said, like fire is hot. Everybody knows, and you put it in your hand and everybody gets the same experience. It's hot. So that's a fact. But your religion is not like that. It's not a fact. It's everybody's idea. Somebody's idea. Oh. I asked him simply, every day, morning when you wake up, do you see sunrise and sunset? Evening in the sunset and the morning sun, if you get up early. Do you the sunrise? Yeah, it's just such a beautiful experience. At the end of the day, yes, sunset. Good. Is it a fact or a faith? What? The sunrise, is it a fact or a faith? Yes, how many of you? Please do not hesitate to answer me. Sunrise, is it a fact or a faith? Fact, right? Sunrise is a fact. But what does science say? Is it sunrise ever taking place? No, just no, you say. Does the sunrise take place ever? Is sun ever rises? No, nobody's answering this question. You just know, said sunrise is a fact. But sunrise is not a fact. Sunrise is a phenomena which you see, which is not true. And who says that? Science. How did they say that? Because based upon their experimentation, they say that the sun doesn't move at all. It is the earth which is rotating, and therefore you have an apparent phenomena of sunrise. Okay? So it is not a fact that sun doesn't rise. It is not. It is a fact that sun doesn't rise. Only earth is moon. All right. Which is your faith or a fact? According to you, is it a faith or a fact? Tell me. According to you, is it a faith or a fact? Tell me something. Have you experimented it yourself? Have you gone outside this earth and saw, yes, earth is moving and sun is not? Did you see it? How do you know? How do you know? Based upon somebody's statement. I mean, it may be true, I'm not denying that. But it is not yours. Based upon some scientific experiment they have said and everybody says that therefore it is. I'm not denying the fact. Please do not mistake me. I'm not a person who denies that. But then, according to you, you believed in the words of the scientists. Right? In the same way, the scriptures say you are none other than the life within you is eternal presence. You may choose to believe or not to believe. But based upon your belief, so will be your perception of the world. Every scientific experimentation begins with a hypothesis, a possibility. Then they move towards that and then finally find out whether it is true or not, and then they declare to the world. In the same way, you can choose to believe and walk the path, or don't believe and stay where you are. When you choose to believe that there is a presence of life within me which is eternal, which is referred as God or whatever in the religion, but that is true. Based upon this belief, when you start moving in the direction that is called spirituality, you blindly believe that it is religion. Religion just declares things. Whether you believe it or not, it declares. You blindly believe and based upon that you do whatever you want. That is up to you. But if you believe in that and start experimenting it yourself, then you are a spiritual person. You want to know the spirit. Most of the religion blindly asks you to believe. So every individual who is walking a spiritual path is a believer, but it doesn't stop there. It moves forward. Every saint is a philosopher. But philosopher just talks, saint experiences it. That's the difference. What's the difference between Aristotle or Socrates and Jesus Christ? What? Both are philosophers, no doubt. One remained a philosopher, another went ahead to find out what it is. So then, this knowledge that is given to us is a starting point. First, believe in the existence of the eternal presence. Now, whether you blindly stay there or not, if you stay there, you are just applying to believe. You go to the temple, go to church, go to anywhere, go on praying, but nothing changes. You have to take it upon yourself and find out, is it true? That is a scientific mind would do it. And therefore, spiritual science, when we say, it is about science about the spirit. Trying to find out it ourselves. This path you take up from faith to fact is the spiritual path. So the next verse he says, people who listen to it, they listen to it with great wonder. Is it possible that I am an eternal being? Timeless, spaceless, conditionless, limitless presence. Because all the time I am looking at myself only as the physical body, it is subject to birth and death and change. Therefore he says in the next verse, see that. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschitenam. Ascharyavat chainam. Ascharyavat padati tadeva chanyah. Ascharyavat chainam-anya shrunoti. Shrutva-pyenam veda na chaiva kaschit. somebody sees this or visualizes this with great wonder. Ascharya means wonder. When you go in front of the Niagara Falls or the Grand Canyon, what happens to your mouth? The jaw drops, right? Jaw drops. That's the ah. When a person remains in the wonder, it's called ascharya. Wonder. Somebody sees this with great wonder. Is it possible? When he is standing in front of the Niagara Falls, a huge amount of water coming down. You wonder, where is this water coming from? So much of water. Have you ever wondered? You not wondered? I wondered always. How much of water, where is it coming from? And where does it go? Continuously for millions of years it has been going on like this. Or you see the Grand Canyon there, so huge. How many wonders are there in this world? Seven wonders. Man is the 8th wonder, women is the 9th wonder, 7th and 8th. 8th and 9th wonders. But those who don't understand each other, it's the greatest wonder, but still they are together. Anyway, something else came to my mind, I don't want to tell you. So, somebody sees this with great wonder. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidena. Somebody looks at it with great wonder. Somebody is talking about it with great wonder. Ascharyavat vadati tadaiva chanyana. Vadati means speaks. Somebody speaks about it with great wonder. Somebody listens with great wonder. Çreyän-svadharmo. Another person listens to it with great wonder. Like all of you are, I am also talking with great wonder and you are also listening with wonder. But Krishna says, no wonder nobody understands. Shrutva penam veda na chaiva kaschit. Nobody understands this. And the wonder of wonder is, it is you. Tattvamasi, this is the statement of the Upanishad. That which you are seeking as God is you. That which you are wondering about is yourself. Not anything else outside there. My own self, the God's presence in me as my own life is the most mysterious thing. This I don't understand. There are so many wonders you may probably see, but the greatest wonder is, who are you? Who are you? You cannot say, oh, I am so and so, I am son of somebody, I am daughter of somebody. That is all physical body and wonders. Oh, I learned this, I learned that. That is about your mind and intellect. But who are you? What is life within you? What is the nature of that? Can you create life out of nothing? Try. Can you? Only life can beget life. Even in an experimentation in a laboratory, when you are doing it, is from one life alone, another life can be created. Right? Life alone provides existence for another life. You cannot create otherwise. That is the greatest wonder. So then this is seen with great wonder. And the eternality of it, continuous existence of it is also great wonder. That means I don't die. What dies is not me. Every moment we change, you know that every cell of our body is constantly changing. Every thought of ours is changing. Every idea is changing. Every emotion is changing. Our days have changed over a period of time. Our preferences, priorities, everything has changed. But what has not changed is you, who is behind all these things. That's why when Christ was put on the cross, what did he say? They know not what they are doing. Please forgive them, because I cannot be killed. I cannot be killed. What is getting killed is not me. That's why the ashes you wear today, right? Today what? What is that today? Ash Wednesday. What is that? dust, from the dust we came, that dust is nothing but the physical body has no real existence, it is just a dust. So in the Hinduism, Lord Shiva represents that beautiful phenomena of this physical body is nothing but dust. That's what he wears all over his body. The Bhasma says, I have conquered death. Because death is nothing but matter appearing and disappearing. Only when you have discovered the impermanence of this life, physical body, then you have real love for the Lord, and that real love for the Lord is called Valentine. That's real love for the Lord, not the one which you give to your girlfriend or wife. Anyway, so here he says, it is great wonder with which a person looks at it, with great wonder he talks about it, with great wonder somebody listens to it. No wonder nobody understands this. Because it is not available as an intellectual idea. It is not an intellectual concept. It is beyond that. It is not somebody's fantastic thought. Our rishis, when they sat in contemplation, in deep meditation, they recognized this presence within themselves with no doubt at all, and they declare to the world, this is what you are, whether you believe it or not. So then, Krishna says, in this starting in the next verse, this is not an unachievable goal. It is possible for any individual to surely reach there. And no, don't change, because then suspense will go. So, in the last part of the second chapter, 18 verses, he talks about the nature or quality of a person who has reached that point. What we call it as self-realization. The Lord's presence in us, or God's presence in us, or the life within us is referred as the self. Self means one's own being. And when you realize that, as what? That is the real I. That's called realization. And what I am now is false and falsization. So when the real I is known, that is called realization. So one who recognizes one's own self as the real I is not a person who is of a very special characteristics. He has developed his quality over a period of time to reach there, to reach that state of understanding or awareness. And it is a continuous process of spiritual development. Not one day or overnight one cannot become. If somebody says, I will make you self-realized within 1 week, please stay away from such people, far away from such people. No one can do that. Can you overcome anger next day? Tomorrow onwards I am not going to be angry. Can you decide like that? One fellow went and said, see, I have decided not to get angry. I'm now without I'm free of anger. His friend said, you free of anger? I won't believe it. No, I am. I'm not a donkey to believe all these things. I am, not a donkey. That's what I mean. So, even a little emotion of anger and lust and passion and greed and jealousy, we cannot overcome just by a thought of it. It takes so much time and psychological adjustment and looking for a higher level of existence that makes us let go of all these things. You mean to say to let go of identification with this physical body, etc., is a joke? Is it such a simple process? It takes lives. But where do we begin? We have to begin somewhere. Every journey begins with the first step. What is the first step that we need to do? If I have to go from here to the end of this hall, I have to start from here. Similarly, Arjuna would ask, obviously, the question, where do we begin? Or tell me the characteristics of the person who has walked the path. How did he do that? Where did he start? It is only to learn from the qualities of such a person for us to start moving forward. Siddhasya lakshanani sadhakasya sadhanani, it is said. A quality of a great person is the practice of the person who is beginning. Anybody wants to begin to walk the path should follow the qualities of the person who has reached there. Isn't it? In every field, if there is a beautiful, excellent tennis player and you watch him doing so effortlessly playing, you watching him, you know exactly how much he got trained. And you should know how he swings the bat, how he does all those. Just like if you watch a golf game, you know, the swing, how beautifully that, with so much of effortlessly a person does. It is not an overnight, overnight thing. It has been, he has trained himself for a long time. One person came back home and said, I'm done with playing golf, I'm done with this. His wife asked, what happened? I can't see where the ball is going. I'm 80 years old. I can't see. So she said, why not you take the help of my brother? Your brother, he is 90, but he has a good eyesight. You can take him along with you and he will tell you exactly where the ball is going. Okay. Next day he took his brother and went. Shot. Hey, did you see where it went? Yeah. Where did it go? I forgot. So, your faculties must be trained enough to understand any game for that matter. You need the skill. So in the same way, here spirituality is learning the skill to move above identifications. The lower your identification, more the suffering is going to be. As I said before, if you are only identified with the physical body, every change will make you suffer. As you move from the physical personality to the psychological personality, your suffering is to that extent less. Why? Because changes are relatively less. And as you go forward, the subtle most aspect of your personality, when you reach that self which is changeless, your suffering also ends. To the degree of identity with the cross, to that degree your suffering is more. To the lesser amount you identify with the grosser aspects of your personality, to that extent, your suffering also will end. So identify with the eternal, deathless, limitless, everlasting presence of that self within you, which religion call it as God, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Identify with the self, then I become happy here and now. Why? No more suffering. In spite of all the changes that takes place, which is I cannot stop. Our own master Swami St.Maarten, when he was giving lectures towards the end of his life, when he was almost 70, 72 years old, his heart was only 23% functioning. And he used to roar from his platform and talk. His lectures are so powerful, as he became more and more powerful as he aged, because his identity with the physical body has reduced, and even as his heart was functioning only 23%, he used to talk continuously for an hour or more, roar at the top of his voice, and at the end of the talk, when everybody leaves, he has to be taken in a stretcher to go to the inside room to give him oxygen. He never have ever stopped working. And he proved to the world, this body is only a tool. I am functioning through this body, I am not this body. This physical body is an external instrument through which I am expressing what I want to express to the world. So it is possible, saints and sages have again and again proven that the physical body is not you. The one within you is an eternal presence. So, here in the next 18 verses, we will see only a few of them. Krishna is explaining what are the qualities of a man of perfection, one who has reached the highest state of awareness. It's called sthita prajna, meaning steady wisdom. The first qualification he says, now, Prajahati yatha kaman sarvan parthamanogathan atmanyevatmana tushtaha stita prajñastadocchate. He is called a man of perfection, who has given up the desires that have arisen in his mind forever, and he stays in his own self all the time. When one fully renounces all desires that have entered the mind, O Partha, and remains content in the self, alone by the self, he is said to be a man of serious. Now, desire is what is the fuel of our life. Now, everything that we do is because we have a desire for it. That's why some of the people who have not come, if you ask them, why did you not come for the session? Bahut khamta. Don't they say that? What do you mean by that? Bahut khamta. Hindi mein. Bahut khamta. Meaning, a lot of work. I would say बहुत काम था, किस लिए? इसलिए कि बहुत काम है आपके मन में. You have a lot of काम. Kama means, in Sanskrit, kama means desire. काम के कारण काम है. इसलिए तेरा मन काम नहीं है. English काम. Because of the Sanskrit काम, you have a Hindi काम, and therefore no English काम. Because of the desire, you have the work, and because of too much of work, your mind is not calm, quiet. Some people ask me, Swamiji, how to get peace of mind? I says, keep your mind without pieces, then you will get peace of mind. Our mind is in very many pieces, and therefore there cannot be peace of mind. So more the desire, more the work that you need to do, more the work, therefore mind is distracted and you are out. And I am not saying you should not have any desire at all. Nobody can live without desire. Our Swamiji used to say, if you have no desire at all, lie down, you are ready to get to the nearest burial ground. We survive because of our desire. Now the question is whether desire is ruling you or you are ruling the desire. That's the question. Even when you have come here to listen to the lecture, it's because of a desire, right? Desire to learn, or desire to listen, or desire to want to see what Swamiji is here to say today. Something has brought you, or your friend or wife or somebody dragged you there. Come, let us sit down. So desire is what making us do any action. All our actions are fueled by desire. Now, as I said before in the beginning of this session, desire is because we seek happiness. Nobody has any desire to become unhappy. Every desire has only one reason. Why? I want to be happier than what I am now. That's the idea. So now, our masters have analyzed this carefully. So it is the lack of happiness that makes you desire for this or that. And because of the desire, you go and act. Through action, you are trying to get what you desire about, only to become happy. So, point is, you are thinking you are unhappy. And happiness is the cause for desire, and desire makes you work, and through work you want to accomplish something. To accomplish something means you get what you desire to make yourself happy. So the cause of the whole problem is I am thinking I am unhappy. Clear? If I am full, I am happy, then there is nothing that I need to do to get anything. That is what he says. A person who has found himself as the happiness, he stays in himself. Atmanyevatmana, he abides in contentment with his own self. Now I ask you this question. In another 2 hours or so, what you would be doing? Sleeping, right? Some of you are already there, but that I'm asking others. So, in 2-3 hours time, you go to sleep. Correct? Some of the youngsters don't sleep, and they'll go to 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'm not talking about that. And I was staying in somebody's house, and morning I woke up at around 5:30 and went to take shower, and that shower was occupied. 5 o'clock, who is that getting up so early to take shower? And after some time, there emerged a young man of the house. He's only 20 years old. I was shocked. A 20-year-old boy taking shower. Something wrong. I was just looking at him. Hi Swami, how are you? Morning. I'm quite shocked. You are taking shower at morning. You woke up so early, 5 o'clock. No, now only I'm going to bed. So, the habit of taking shower and going to bed. So 5 o'clock only he goes back to bed. Anyway, why did that come? Why did that come? Okay. Suddenly went back somewhere else. So this is unhappiness, that is the cause of the desire. Desire makes us act, and action gives a result, and the result, if it is favorable, we are happy. If it is not favorable, we are unhappy. Again, that prompts us to act. If it is happy a situation, you try to repeat it. If it is unhappy, you change the way and again go for it. So action never ends, so long as the desire never ends. That's why Buddha also said, desire is the cause of all sufferings. He made a statement, very fast statement, which is analyzed by the masters. He said, desire is, please be careful. Let us say I desire a particular thing, something, whatever it is. I desire to eat something. I go to a restaurant, we did today. We went there and there are some few items. I desire to eat something, let us say. What makes me desire to eat that stuff? Let us say I have eaten that before and I had a good experience about it, and therefore I would like to have that. Is it not true that I project the idea of happiness in that food? That I wanted to repeat again and again that experience. So therefore, I project the idea of happiness in something that makes me desire for it. This is said in Mahabharata beautifully. He says, He kama janami te moolam sankalpat kila jayase. Hey desire, I know your root. You are born out of projection of happiness. Sankalpa. Sankalpa means samyak kalpana. Imagination of happiness. So if you go to a shop, you buy something. Let us say you go to a jewelry shop and you buy a jewelry. You are buying it because you think that wearing that is happiness for you, right? Otherwise, nobody will buy it. Buying a jewelry means it makes me feel good, and I can show it when I go to the next party and show it to everybody. If nobody watches, then you will not buy at all. You want to buy it, show it to everybody, and somebody should notice it. Hey, where did you buy that? Oh, I went to St.Maarten, I got it. Make her feel jealous. Oh, is it available? No, only one piece is available. And I got only that. Nowhere available in this. It is a unique thing. You can see the jealousy in the eyes of that person. So, that idea of happiness I have projected upon that necklace. Even though I have no necklace on any. So, the necklace. So, I put the idea of happiness in that necklace or the jewelry. And therefore I desire to buy that. Now in this simple situation like here, let us look at it. You went to buy that jewelry and the shopkeeper there is ready to sell because he doesn't have happiness about holding that necklace in his shop anymore. For him the money is important than the necklace. Correct or not? The more necklace is an unnecessary burden of stock and I want to get rid of them. So for him, that necklace is not happiness. For you, the necklace is happiness. Now, where is happiness? Tell me. The necklace? Where is happiness? Where is that happiness? In the money or in the necklace? You are ready to shell out that money. You don't like that money to be with you because for you, that necklace is more worth than that money that you hold in your hand. For him, the money is more worth than the necklace that is there in the shop. Now, where is the happiness? Is it not in the individual's mind? So, my desire is my idea of happiness, and your desire is your idea of happiness. So, it is relative, it is not absolute. That's what I am trying to say. The desire that you have for a thing or the happiness that you project upon anything is relative. And the same thing, tomorrow you have find another one which is more beautiful than this, you are ready to let go of it. Now, can you take this and make another one out of this? Because now the style is different. Now the trend is different. My fashion is different. All the clothes that you bought out of some kind of a sale, and it's all sitting in your cupboard. You are not buying, that's all old. I don't want anything. Why? It's not a trendy. Some houses I go, there are some 25 pairs of shoes. Then I ask, how many people live? Why so many shoes? I bought it there, I bought it. I'm not wearing it anymore. So at that time when you are buying, it was happiness. Afterwards, it's not use. So how relative it is. See, you yourself don't like it afterwards. So the idea of happiness, that's why it's called sankalpa. Sankalpa means it's an imagination. Your idea of happiness is something which makes you go for it. That is the desire, therefore, is a relative projection of happiness. This is where is it happening? That's why it's a manogata, born of the mind. Desires when it is born of the mind. He understands that this is only a relative idea of happiness. What I seek is permanency. The everlasting happiness I am seeking, therefore I am not going to be a victim of this relative, fluctuating, transient, evanescent nature of this desire. He who has thus given up this fickle nature of the mind, which is constantly projecting happiness over things, and has found that true happiness within himself, atman-evatmana krishna, content in himself, by himself, he is a man of perfection. Now this is now the work has to begin in our mind. This is the quality of a person, qualification of the person. Now, how much we are connected to this idea? Krishna is not saying that therefore worship him, adore him, praise him. No. Hey, Arjuna, find out how far you are from here to him. What's your condition? What is the degree of your, evolution in this process? Are you a victim of your desires, or you are a master of your desires? Are you enslaved by your own thoughts, or you are the master of your own thoughts? Find that out. Then you are on the path to perfection. You are on the path to self-realization. You are on the path to permanent happiness. So, the wisdom that is provided in this beautiful book is not only for certain people, it's universal message. He's not talking about God. He's talking about you and me. He's talking about how do we move forward. How do we find the true happiness in ourselves. It is not just worshipping a particular form or adoring it or doing a ritual or a prayer. It's about overcoming our own imperfections and impurities and negativities and all the limitations. More of that we'll see in the next session. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyat dukkha bhave. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Any announcement? if you are coming tomorrow, please leave the papers in the desk. Or if you want to read yourself, you take it, but bring it back.
Somebody watched it? Anita might not. Right? Yeah. You're not wrong.
Huh? Yes, you have to put it off first. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay.